So I was driving home the other day with my husband, and we had just stopped and gotten Wendy's. Now, if you're new here, you might not know this, but I do have celiac disease, and Wendy's is somewhere that I personally don't eat at. There are some gluten-free options, but I personally just don't feel like I want to be involved with ordering and making sure my food's coming out safe. I just don't eat at Wendy's. However, my husband does, on occasion, love a Wendy's burger with some French fries. And so we're driving home from just picking up Wendy's, and my husband's reaching inside his bag, and he's grabbing the fries out, and I can hear the fries crunch as he's pulling them out, and steam starts building up on the window, and I start to feel my blood boil. Absolutely boil. Like, I'm starting to feel like actually I might explode with rage. As he's like grabbing a french fry, I smell it. It's wafting up into the car. It's everywhere. I'm drooling, and I'm hearing him crunch on these fresh, hot french fries from Wendy's, and I just am absolutely enraged. Now, I don't know if you've ever experienced this before or if you've ever heard of the concept gluten rage, but that's what we're going to be talking about today, and that is what I was experiencing in that moment on the way home from Wendy's. So if you're new here, my name is Taylor. I'm a registered dietitian who specializes in celiac disease, but I've also been living with celiac for over the past 10 years, and over the past 10 years, I've lived in a dedicated gluten-free home. I've lived with 5 other roommates who ate gluten, and currently I live with my husband who still eats gluten. Now, this is a personal decision, and I personally decided that it's in my household's best interest to have a shared home. Not everyone will make this decision, but in this case, this was a decision we both made together, and I don't feel the need to discuss this immediately right now because this video is all about the concept gluten rage. So, what is gluten rage? I'm gonna pull back a little bit here. If you've never heard of it, gluten rage is when you feel so jealous over watching someone eat a delicious gluten-filled food or off-limit food with celiac disease that you're angry and upset. And this is exactly what I was experiencing in that moment. We were on the way home after stopping at Wendy's, and Kyle was just eating these fresh, hot, delicious smelling french fries that I could not eat. I just felt like I was going to explode in rage. And this happens to me not just with french fries. This has also happened to me. Sometimes he'll get chocolate cupcakes or chocolate muffins from the grocery store. And I'm actually a vanilla cake fan, I prefer vanilla cake. I prefer vanilla ice cream. I'm not the biggest fan of chocolate cake and chocolate ice cream. But the way this man eats chocolate cupcakes and chocolate muffins makes me so jealous because I clearly can see it's delicious, it's gluten-filled, and I cannot have it, and I experience gluten rage. So if you've ever experienced this, let me know down below. Let me know if you even remember what the specific food is that kind of starts to make your blood boil. But I wanted to talk about this because I still experience this even 10 years in, and this could be a sign of grief. So if you look at the Kubler-Ross 5 stages of grief, one of the stages is anger, and this anger that I feel over not being able to eat these delicious gluten-filled foods, especially when they're right in front of me, especially when that person, usually my husband, is clearly enjoying the heck out of them, and I know that I can't. It's definitely grief that is coming up through me as anger, as jealousy, and it can be quite difficult for me to deal with because I don't want to be the person that's angry and grumpy when my partner is able to enjoy delicious food that I don't get to have. I don't want to yuck their yum, if you will. And also, I really want fresh, hot, gluten-free french fries. And yes, I understand and I know that there are a lot of places in the United States, and I'm so lucky that a lot of places do have safe gluten-free french fries. And they're not as accessible as if you were able to eat gluten and have fries from a shared fryer. You have to hunt them down. You still have to ask for cross-contact precautions on a lot of occasions. You have to make sure they change their gloves and all of that. It's just not as carefree. It's just not as easily accessible. It's just not the same. And I also understand, like, there are a lot of amazing, incredible gluten-free alternatives for chocolate cake and chocolate cupcakes and all of the delicious gluten-filled foods. There's amazing gluten-free alternatives. And they're not the same. As close as they can get, they're not the same, and I know I'm missing out on something, and I still experience this gluten rage on occasion. So I do think, something that can kind of help with this grief is maybe figuring out how you can find those delicious gluten-free alternatives, making sure that they're available to you so you feel less of this grief, and also acknowledging, like, they're not going to be the same. They can help kind of lessen the grief, but they're not going to make it go away. They're not going to make that jealousy go away, and this is kind of something that we have to learn to live with. Grief comes in waves, and this is just something that I've experienced. I wanted to start the conversation about here on YouTube, see what you've experienced, if you've ever felt this way. So if you have anything that you want to share, if you've experienced this, please, please, please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear. And yeah, the Wendy's French fries are like, oh, if I had to put money on anything that is going to give me gluten rage almost every single time, it's gotta be when we're driving home from somewhere. Kyle's like, please, can we stop at Wendy's? He gets gluten-free French fries, not gluten-free French fries. He gets gluten-filled French fries, and they're not really gluten-filled. They're just cross-contacted, and I can't eat them, and I just have to hear him crunch and smell those delicious fries, and it's just, it's a recipe for gluten rage. So all right, that's all that I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Taylor, registered dietitian specializing in celiac. And with all of that said, I will see you when I see you.